Practice and Research 3.1, Project 7, my final reflective video. I'm going to call this independent project Century Textiles because that's the where the work has been taken. I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and I think this expresses this in this assignment. Going large scale was the best thing that I did with the samples. Making some decisions. I wouldn't necessarily say that I've overloaded with lots of ideas. I think there are in the sketchbook, but the sketchbook will always be like that. And I think I will always make lots of samples and have lots of ideas because I'm now coming to terms with, as I've been learning about my own diagnosis and dyslexia, that I do follow the traits myself. So I think that this is now making me feel a little bit more settled in my work and not feeling overloaded, because I now have the understanding of why I do what I do, and I do things in a specific way or a particular structure, or I can sit down and I can analyse something and I can make something without necessarily having to write it down or draw it. Sometimes that part of it comes as a little bit of an afterthought, but I will say that the idea is always there. So that's why I made the case study of my sketchbook so that my tutor can see my thought processes and so forth are written down and documented in a visual manner with mind maps. I can't work any other way. And I think also as well, it's been quite nice at this point to decide that this is how I work. And I've worked like this for a long time, not knowing whether it was the right way or the wrong way, but it's the right way for me because it feels comfortable. And I think also as well, I can surprise myself sometimes with my ideas that I come up with, and how I get there, I don't know. I guess that's why I'm doing this course, to try and direct me. But I think it's important that now my dyslexia is part of locating my textile practice. I think I will always have fun with mixed media. And I think eventually when I get through research and I start to get textile responses and I start to make, that for me is my practice, and that's where I feel comfortable, is when I'm making. I do have a thought process, and I think when I do take a step back, I do actually think and can now see, and I think the critical essay helped me see this. I can be visually an academic. I just think there are barriers that I just need to overcome, and I just need to break them down and just sort of relax a little bit more. I feel that I have started to relax in my work, enjoyed the work a little bit more, even though at times it can feel pressured. But again, I think that that's the way that the dyslexic mind works. It works overload at times with all these energetic ideas. Sometimes I think the ideas are they ever going to end? But I think it's part of being a creative person. So what did I learn in Project 7? Well, I learned new things about sensory materials and sensory textiles, and how to make my own sensory textiles. I learned about colour, the interaction of colour, Joseph Albers. I still made reflection with previous practitioners, Laura Blake, Aldo van Eyck. Looked into Erin Macquarie's weaving and how she uses an object as a platform to display her work. And I think at this point, what it's made me realise is the weeks and the months of research that we have been ploughing through, it still filters through. Now, I don't know whether that happens naturally, and I feel that at times I don't always identify with that. I think some of the newer samples that have started to come through relate a little bit to John Walters and Capsid. There are a few samples that I've put together that are very cell-like, but that wasn't intentional. So I think I'm kind of just drawing on all of this research. It's made me realise how important research is, how fun it is, and how ideas just kind of bounce off one another. So you could start off, with a small idea, and then it just filters through and it builds and builds and builds. Hence why I have to make a mind map. And I feel that demonstrates research in a very good way with new ideas and stimulation and writing it down in words. I still think there's a lot that I need to refine where my work is involved. Using words to describe them, maybe. I started to pick up on this when I was looking at red and the hues and the tones and the shades of red, how I should really be bringing this into my work, so that the sensory samples become more descriptive. But I don't think that I was ready at this point to do that. I think that this is now ready for Project 8. There's lots of more ideas that I want to continue with in Project 8. I want to look at my samples with how they engage with the body. So I'm going to use the body as a platform, and how they might move on various parts of the body. I've also started to look into the Bauhaus Ballet, where they use large overproportioned and large scale shape. So I think Project 8 is going to be quite interesting, and I'm looking forward to it.